Now that Lobster is installed, let's configure it properly. The Lobster init wizard walks you through 5 important steps: choosing your LLM provider, entering credentials, selecting a model profile, adding NCBI keys for literature search, and optionally setting up premium features. Let's go through each one. Checking initial status. First, run Lobster status to see where we're starting from. You'll see not configured because we haven't run the wizard yet. This command is your quick health check. It shows your provider, subscription tier, and available agents. Starting the init wizard. Run Lobster init to start the interactive configuration wizard. This creates a .env file with your settings. The wizard has 5 steps, and I'll explain the important choices at each one. Step 1. Provider selection explained. First, choose your LLM provider. You have 4 options, each with different trade-offs. Option 1. Claude API, Anthropic, is the simplest setup. Just paste your API key from console.anthropic.com. Great for getting started quickly, but has lower rate limits. Option 2. AWS Bedrock is ideal for production use. You need AWS credentials with Bedrock permissions. The advantage is higher rate limits, compliance features, and integration with your AWS infrastructure. Option 3. Ollama runs completely locally. No API keys, no internet, total privacy. Perfect for sensitive data or working offline. You'll need Ollama installed with a model pulled. Option 4. Google Gemini offers a generous free tier and excels at long context. Get your key from aistudio.google.com. For this demo, I'm selecting Option 2, AWS Bedrock, because we'll be doing serious analysis work. Step 2. Entering API credentials. Now enter your credentials. For Bedrock, that's your AWS access key and secret key. Notice the input is masked for security. For Anthropic or Gemini, you paste a single API key. For Ollama, you might specify which local model to use if you have multiple installed. Step 3. Profile selection, model tiers. This step only appears if you chose Anthropic or Bedrock. It asks which Claude models to use for your agents. This is important for balancing cost and quality. Development uses Haiku 4.5, the fastest and most affordable option. Great for testing and prototyping when speed matters more than depth. Production uses Sonnet 4. This is the recommended default. It's a balanced choice with high-quality analysis at reasonable cost and speed. Ultra uses Sonnet 4.5, the highest quality for complex multi-step analyses. More expensive and a bit slower, but produces excellent results. God mode uses Opus 4.1, experimental, most expensive, reserved for the most demanding research tasks. I recommend starting with production. You can always change this later by editing your .env file or using the -- profile flag. Step 4. NCBI API keys, why they matter. This step is optional but highly valuable if you'll be searching literature or downloading datasets. NCBI, the National Center for Biotechnology Information, hosts PubMed, Geo, and SRA. Without an API key, you're limited to 3 requests per second and may hit rate limits during large searches. With an API key, you get 10 requests per second. That's over 3 times faster. Lobster supports multiple keys for parallel processing. If you're processing large batches of publications, you can add 2 to 3 keys and Lobster will use them in rotation. Each key gives you an additional 10 requests per second. Get your free key at the NCBI website. The link is shown in the wizard. It takes about 30 seconds to create one. For this demo, I'll add 1 key. Step 5. Premium features, optional. The final step asks about premium features. Most users select Skip to stay on the free tier, which includes all the core analysis capabilities. If you have an activation code from Omics-OS, select Option 2 to unlock additional agents like the Metadata Assistant and Proteomics Expert. If you have a Cloud API key for Lobster Cloud processing, select Option 3. This enables cloud-based computation for very large datasets. For now, I'll skip this step. Verifying your configuration. Configuration complete. Let's verify everything. Run Lobster status again. Now you'll see configured with your provider detected. For the full picture, run Lobster config show config. This shows your active provider and where it was configured from, the profile and model being used, your subscription tier and available agents, whether NCBI keys are configured. The wizard also created a .env file. Let's look inside. You'll see your provider setting, credentials, which I'll redact, profile, and NCBI key. Important. Never commit this file to Git. Add .env to your .git ignore.
Troubleshooting tips. If something's not working, run lobster config test. This validates your API connectivity and shows exactly what's succeeding or failing. Common issues. API test fails. Double-check your credentials. Rate limit errors. Add an NCBI API key or switch to Bedrock. Model not found. Verify your provider supports the selected model. For Ollama, make sure Ollama serve is running. You can rerun Lobster init anytime to reconfigure. Use lobster init-force to overwrite an existing configuration. That's Lobster configuration complete. In the next video, we'll run our first analysis.